This is me, Darkus93, and this is going to be a Pretty Rhythm Rainbow Live episode 11 review. Now, basically, this review is going to happen not on a Wednesday. Like, it's going to come out, I'm probably going to put it up either Wednesday or Thursday. But, for me, I just finished the episode just now, maybe like 5 minutes ago or something, and I said, you know what? What better time to record the episode review when it's fresh in my mind, huh? Yeah, probably. But I don't know. I just thought it would be more better to do that than to just wait like a couple days and not have my head screwed on straight. So here we go. The episode starts off. Naru, she's running to I believe the convention center, and she sees Koji. She stops for Koji, talks to him about the tournament, says, "Okay, I'm going to be entering the tournament." Koji's like, why are you going to enter that tournament, Naru? I didn't think you were the type of person to do something like that. And why would you do it? Naru then says, "Oh, Hiro told me about it. Like I can see a new world, and if I go into that tournament, I can meet new rivals and such. And I just wanted to join in." Naru then looks at the clock, so it's 9:01, and she runs away. And then Koji says, "Oh, Hiro, what are you planning?" Happens later. Naru meets An's like saying that they're late, and then what happens is An asks, "Where's Ida?" Naru says, "Oh yeah, I thought she was with you. I thought she already came." And then An's like, "I thought she was with you." Now what happens? Wakana comes in, interrupts the conversation, says, "Oh, like, you guys, why are you here? Like, I thought you guys weren't going to be here." And she specifically says to An, she says to the whole group that you guys should know your limits, and that there should also be a limit to your selfishness. Like, no, not yourself, selflessness. There we go, not selfishness. Selflessness, which basically is like, have shame, you know? But what happens is Empire then says, "Oh yeah, what is it? I hope you guys do know that this is a place where where it's a place to judge and display your results of your hard training to the judges here." And then what happens is then the announcer comes on and says, "Okay, every participant, please go to the stage." Now, what happens before they both go to the stage, An and Naru, what happens is they stumble upon Ku and Sato. Sato is complaining that it was hot, and then Ku's like, "Oh, it must be something wrong with the thermostat," and then proceeds to screw her head, like, use a wrench and apparently fix the thermostat with the wrench. So what happens is An and Naru walk in. An looks, and she's actually pretty freaked out about what she's seeing. Naru complete phases it out, I guess. She doesn't even notice it. And then asks Sato where Ito was, and that if she's heard from her. Sato says, "I haven't." Then what happens is then the selection begins. I might be out of chronological order, I'm sorry about that. But the selection begins. What happens is the numbers go from 1 to 15 because the 16th team, or the number 1 team, was already decided. Etero's Team S, because they won last year's tournament, they were automatically placed in the number 1 spot, or Spot A. Now, everyone picks their numbers, and then it's Naru's turn to go pick a number. An says to get number 1. Unfortunately, the opposite happens. They get number 15. And as the selections go on, Naru notices that, like, no one wants to go for Bear's team. And what is it? Naru wonders why. Wakana then says they all know they'll lose right away. Like, they'll all lose. And what happens eventually is the number 15 comes up, and Prism Stone is stuck going against Etero's Team S. So it's basically the newest team against the strongest team. Now, of course, what happens is then Wakana then says, to An, "Yeah, I'm going to be going second, just so you know. And make sure not to run off." Nan says, I wouldn't even think of it. Then there's some scenes with Ito, like she's sitting inside of her room, I guess, strumming her guitar, trying to tune it. And Gen says, "Oh yeah, you doing anything today? You free?" What is it? Ito says, "Sure." Gen says, "Yeah, I just need like my friends, like my buddy's band needs some help again." Then what happens is then we see Ito tuning the guitar a little bit. Then what happens is An calls her. An then says, "Oh yeah, what the heck are you doing, Ito? You hurry up and get over here." Ito's like, no, like I have to help my, what is it? I have to help out the band. I'm sorry. An's like, if you don't get over here, we're going to be disqualified. Then Ito's like, later, and just shuts out and just ends the call. Then she looks up to see Gen. Gen then gives her a speech about, what is it? Is your dream just to replace people? Like, is your dream just to replace people? Like, there's no dreams to be held here unless it's that one. And then says, aren't your friends waiting for you? And then what happens is we then see An and Naru. They're waiting. What happens is they're now the first match of the first round is announced, and it's Susanoo Ito against Takanashi Otoha. What happens is Ito isn't there. An and Naru are waiting outside. They are worried that she's not going to make it. Ito runs up, says, "Do I have enough time?" They say yes, she does. And she goes into the convention center. What happens later is then Ito performs her Prism show. Her Prism show is the same as it was before. The song's 37 BT 37.5, and the jumps are, I believe, Cool Splash, and then she also does Jewel Spin Cross. The thing about it is she does a Prism Live. Like, the Prism Live is normal in the show, but what happens is everyone's shocked about it. They're like, they don't even know what a Prism Live is. And this mysterious man that says, "Oh, a Prism Live." And then what happens is we see Otoha. She had a conversation with Baru earlier, and then she's looking at it and she's like, "Oh, it's like a fairy tale." But then what happens is Baru's like, "Oto, it's your turn." And then Oto's like, "Oh, all right, I'll be off then." What happens later is then when it's Otoha's turn, like when she's all dressed up and all that, and we see the little flashback with the black ribbon boots. What happens with it is weird. I don't know. I saw the chest for it. I was looking at the chest that Otoha was looking in, and it looked like on the right side, it said Diacron on top, but on the right side it looked like a pear charm. So is the world still the same? I don't know. I wonder if it's the same or not, or if it's like just there. I don't know. But I just felt that to be like a little thing I wanted to talk about. But besides that, she has her show. Her shows, her her song name is Vanity Cologne. She has her dance, her two jumps, her feminine splash, and Dream City, which were combined as two. No Prism Live, but the jumps are combined into two, like one jump and two jumps, like Rene would do 4 jumps in a row. So what happens in the end is the judges deliberate. They're like, "What's a Prism Live?" They're like, "Oh, I don't know." Like it's not in the rule book. It's like, true. And what happens is then they deliberate. What is it? I believe. Ito gets the short end of the stick with. Let me check what number. I want to see real quick what number she got, because I want to be all top of this. Ito got 2,680 carats to Otoha's 5,440. What a downer, I know. Like, everyone thought Ito was going to win. because she did a Prism Live. But then Momo comes up and says, well, it wasn't in the rulebook. There's no scoring guidelines for Prism Lives. So that is why it happened. And since it's in the rulebook, there's nothing we can do about it. And then what happens is then we see Ito goes back to Naru and On, and Naru's like, oh yeah, good effort. And what happens is then Ito thinks, oh yeah, like what's this feeling I feel? And then Naru's like, oh yeah, and Naru in her head is like, Ito didn't say anything, but I know what she's feeling inside of her heart. Like I can read it loud and clear. And then basically says the next match of the round is going to be On against Wakana. And that is the end of the episode. So basically, a few things were revealed in here. Otoha's new dance, for one. Secondly, Ito does care about On and Naru, which she didn't really show it, but I guess she does. Thirdly, Otoha can do 2 jumps in a row. Fourth, a man who isn't revealed, like, I don't know his name or anything, no one probably knows his name, but he apparently, like, is thinking about a Prism Live. Like, that was the main focus of the episode for him, was he was thinking about the Prism Live. And fifth, Rene looks like I like her as, like, Ku's double for some reason. Like, she's never been a double of anyone, and then she just randomly comes in as Ku's double and is like, cool. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.